Good morning, Ridge Wreckers Fantasy Football League. Welcome to the Week 12 recap video. Another amazing week this week. So some big upsets, big wins, big losses. And since the end of the week, there have been some massive trades going on. We're going to get into all of that and the standings, which changed very little, next. Where to start? Well, let's start with the results of Week 12. Raider Nation blew out Championships for Miles, 146.14 to 97 points. That represents the league's high score for the week. Good job to Raider Nation. Once again, don't sleep on them Raiders. Booty Liquor got spanked by Gender Unicorn in a great matchup. Gender Unicorn put up 135 points against Booty Liquor's 60.32 points. That represents the week's low for the league. That's just a burning dumpster fire down there at Team Booty Liquor. They very well could be taking home the Loser's Trophy this year. Missing My Young Hope barely got beat out by Bayside Tigers, 116 to 111 points. Nut and Butt Sacks put up a monster 140 against the Jags 104. And Social Justice Warrior, without a defense, defeated the Roster Baiters 101 to 96 points. Their kicker did put up 21 points, though. That would be Folk, the New England Patriots kicker. That's an impressive score coming from them. And another highlight would be the Gender Unicorns New England defense putting up 21 points. And that was against the Booty Lickers. And last but not least, game of the week. The media defeated Team Suckaditka 127 to 112 points, knocking off the league leader and ending their 9-game winning streak, which we'll talk about a little bit when we get into the standings. Those results have our standings with Team Suckaditka still in first place, Nut and Butt Sacks in second, the media is in third, Bayside Tigers in fourth, Raider Nation in fifth, and Roster Baiters in sixth, rounding out the top half of the league. Jax in seventh, Missing My Young Ho in eighth, the Booty Lickers in ninth, Gender Unicorn somehow in 10th place after 3 wins, Social Justice Warrior in 11th, and Championships for Miles in the caboose position. Some interesting things to note. Team Suckaditka currently holds the record for the league for most wins in a row in a regular season at 9. With 10 regular season wins, if they win one more game, they will set the record for the most wins in a regular season. Currently, the league has a record for 12 losses in the regular season. That being said, if team owner for Championships for Miles loses the next 2 weeks, they will match that record with 12 regular season losses. Man, Christmas miracle that would be. All right, Week 13 matchups have the media going up against Social Justice Warrior, with the media currently being a 30-point favorite. That's an upset alert from Social Justice Warrior. Hopefully the media's team comes on strong. Championship for Miles plays Booty Lickers in what should be a good matchup with lots of trash talk in there. Gender Unicorn plays Missing My Young Ho in a game that no one cares about. Raider Nation plays the Roster Baiters, with Raider Nation following some trades this week, putting up big predicted numbers. Bayside Tigers goes up against Jags, and Nut and Butt Sacks goes up against Suckaditka in the game of the week. That's first versus second. And Nut and Butt Sacks has made some major moves this week, trading a 2022 first-round draft pick for some key players, and they have a monster predicted score. That being said, I really need them to lose so that I can move into the number 2 spot and get that first week bye going into the playoffs, which would be key for my team. Good luck this week, gentlemen, especially to you, Team Suckaditka. All right, so as we alluded to the last couple of weeks, the fire sales have started. The salesmanship is ratcheting up. The text messages are flying. If I'm getting them, I know y'all are getting them. The teams in the losers bracket are doing everything they can to position themselves for next season, peddling hopes and dreams of this year's championship. Massive moves by some teams have built super teams with massive predicted scores. That being said, I still hold to my belief that this is 90% luck and 10% skill, and I'm really not one to sell off next season's hopes for this week's potential victory. It has worked, though. You saw it work with Team Social Justice Warrior, last year's champions, and they rode the caboose position for the majority of this year until that spot was taken over by Championships for Miles. It really comes down to a management philosophy. Are you willing to risk it all for a potential chance to win this season? Some teams say yes. Jags has sold off some of their position. Championships for Miles has sold off some of their position. And Missing My Young Ho has sold off some of their position to teams like Roberts Raiders, Nut and Butt Sacks, to name a few. That being said, this is how the game's played. Good luck to everybody. I don't think it's going to work out for you. I certainly hope it doesn't. All right, I'll shut up now and we'll get into what we all really want to listen to, which is the comments. Starting with team owner of Raider Nation, I asked him about his emotional victory over Championships for Miles this week, who we all know over the previous seasons has abused this man and used him as a farm team. I asked if he had a message for the league and if he still thinks he's got what it takes to win it all. This week was a foregone conclusion before it started. Unethical gave up and will be lucky to even get close to another win this season, selling out this year to try and get a better draft for next season. Typical unethical move. That trophy is going to look nice on his mantle. I just hope it don't have to explain it to his kids. My team needs another strong showing this week to wrap up a playoff spot, and then we can work on winning it all. As I've said all season, just keeping our heads down and doing the work it takes to win. Don't sleep on Raider Nation. Many have this year and paid the price. That's true, and that's some knowledge dropping from the team owner of Raider Nation. I spoke to the woke leader of Social Justice Warriors about his amazing victory over the roster baiters this week without a defense. Asked him if it was all part of his plan. He said, I pulled this win out in honor of Kamala Harris Indigenous Peoples Foundation as a way to truly celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day. One by one, I will deliver sweet social justice to the white oppressors of the league, continuing with the media, aka Fox News, this week. Wouldn't bet on that. Pretty sure I'm going to win this one. That being said, stay woke, brother. I spoke with team owner of Suckaditka about their current record holds and potential record-setting season and asked them how it was going and if they thought they had what it took to win. First off, I'd like to congratulate the media on a great performance this week. Thank you. I'm still trying to figure out how the media drafted such a good team considering he doesn't know the difference between Justin Jefferson and George Jefferson. I'd like the law offices of Booty and Liquor to investigate possible draft tampering. Either way, just like George Jefferson, the media is moving on up. That's right, straight to the east side, baby. That being said, the law offices of Booty and Liquor are currently inundated with calls concerning collusion and possible draft tampering with the next season already. So I don't think they're going to be able to look into my draft performance from last year. Better luck next time. Next, I spoke to the team owner of Bayside Tigers about their narrow victory over Missing My Young Ho and if they thought they had what it took to go all the way. Heading into the playoffs, being a lifelong Mets fan has taught me to never assume or take things for granted, which is why I've never asked a woman who looks pregnant when she is due, unless I see a human baby emerging from her body at that exact moment. That's solid advice, actually. I never ask a woman if she's actually pregnant, even if she looks 9 months pregnant. You can take that one to the bank. The mental abuse of being a Gamecock fan means that I always expect the absolute worst possible outcome, which is why I refuse to talk about making the playoffs until my spreadsheets say I absolutely guaranteed to make the playoffs. So I guess it's a long way of saying no comment. As far as who has what it takes to win, as soon as he changed his name to Better Than Ed, I know we are all fucked. Think about it. Name change. Championships for Miles in the rearview mirror falls to last place. His team is in shambles. The fire sale that has so far been more smoke than fire. The juju of that name change power moves unstoppable. Give Nut and Butt Sacks the trophy now. I'm going to be in the way of that plan. But I hear what you're saying about being a Mets and a Gamecocks fan. I mean, I don't even know what a Met is, and a Gamecock is a giant cock. Should have picked better mascots. I spoke to the team owner of Gender Unicorn about their huge win over the Booty Lickers this week. 1, a moral victory. 2, a social victory for all of us who are woke and aware of the social injustices thanks to the white oppressors of this people. It was a tough week. We were dealing with the master of booty licking and put every option on the table. But we had 2 secret weapons going into the game. We had a man on the inside. Cam Newton was our first secret weapon. Panthers fans were as confused as a UNCC student taking an engineering class and only finding out the coursework was critical race theory. The second was that booty licker could be considered an alpha male, but he's a vaccinated alpha male. With the full vaccine coursing through his veiny shoulders, it was only a matter of time before his testosterone dropped, leaving him an impotent male like every other vaccinated non-true blood like myself. So with his confidence surging, he proceeded to pull down my pants to lick the booty, only to discover a downstairs mix-up. It was like looking at his childhood poster of Marilyn Manson. Then, just like the X22 report, we just trusted the plan and it worked. Cam sucked and in the process took out McCaffrey. Now we sit in a position all by ourselves with 4 wins. Let's call it a safe place, get woke or go broke. That is a very safe place here in Gender Unicorn. I spoke with the team owner of the Booty Lickers and asked him how Miss Booty Licker was taking it, since that's really all we are concerned with at the media. We don't give 2 shits about Mr. Booty Licker. We're only concerned with Miss Booty Licker. Being taken out by a resurgent gender unicorn has been devastating for morale this week, and Miss Booty Licker isn't handling it well. She's threatening to vaccinate one of her butt cheeks if I don't get things turned around. I felt confident going into the week because I was going up against the gender fucking unicorn. However, as soon as I dropped his pants, I didn't even know where to begin. I was so confused as to what I was seeing down there. Is this a booty hole? Was his weenie turned inside out? I never found my footing and my tongue never found its home. He pinned me to the turf and violently rearranged my pronouns. After seeing such a disappointing display, my star player CMC resigned in protest for the rest of the season. I don't know where we go from here. This may just be the end. Saving the best for last, I spoke with the wife of the team owner for Championships for Miles, and I asked her if she was prepared to explain the loser's trophy to her children or if she expected him to do it. I asked her if she was doing anything to motivate him during this trying time. This is an exact quote. He will do the explaining if he loses. If he loses, maybe we need to do less of what the statue is doing, and he may need to concentrate more on fantasy football. Ouch. Listen, guys, all that being said, what a week. What a way to bring the season to a close. We have 2 regular season games left, and then we're going to be heading into the playoffs. Top 6 going to the winner's bracket, bottom 6 going to the loser's bracket. I'll be covering what all that means in next week's video when we have less comments and more time to discuss that. That being said, watch your text messages. Be very concerned about who you're dealing with in these trades. Remember, if you lay down with dogs, you catch fleas. And there are some very nefarious individuals in this league who have no ethical grounding, no moral standing, and who will absolutely do bad things to you sexually in order to make a trade happen. Fantasy football is all that really matters, people. Have a great week.